welcome to the F3 podcast, where we discuss all things that pertain to faith, family, and finances. And remember, no subject is off limits. We are your hosts today. I'm just a nobody trying to tell everybody about somebody who could change
Oh
anybody.
my goodness.
I am the lowly but humble Dr. Lionel M. Blair Sr., and I'm married to the grand, the glorious, the wonderful, the sainted mother herself, Saint Jasmine the First, Dr. Jasmine Blair. We got a good one for you today.
Welcome everybody to the F3 podcast. Listen, be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Thank you for joining us today. Go ahead and check out those links there. We've got some different stuff there. You can find out how to connect with us on social media. You can find books and other services, but you can also find out how you can become an avid supporter of the F3 podcast. And if you've got a show topic or question you want us to answer, you can drop us a voicemail there. And who knows, your topic might be the next topic. Because remember, we'll talk about what your pastor won't. Take us with you on the go. You can find us wherever your favorite podcasts are streamed. So we're going to get right into this. This is part two of our last topic. And we were talking about gender roles in today's society. And I want to get back into some of these numbers,
Yes.
because we're talking about this whole, are we supposed to split the bills and all this other silly stuff? And it's like I said, I'm putting these numbers out from from justice.gov, from the Census Bureau median family income by size that was done sometime between May and October of 2019 is when they collected this data and they did these numbers. So this was a few years ago before all the inflation hikes. So I can only
Mm.
imagine what this data would look like now. So these are median incomes. This is median amount, average, which means there's clearly a lot of people below this. If you are not at this uh, amount, it's going to take more than one person. So we're not even gonna go to DC because that's just ridiculous. That's we already know. If you in the
I
DC
would never.
area, don't do it.
I
Don't
would
do
never.
it.
I
Scam
would never.
likely. So let's take a look at this. Alabama, 78,500, $456. And this is for a family of four. So you're talking about husband, wife, two kids. Illinois, 98,000 and some change. Maryland, 118,000. I
Mm.
believe it. Montana, 94,000. New Jersey, 125,000. It's got to be higher than that now. Texas, 83,000. Virginia, 105,261. Wyoming, 91,000 and some change. Ohio, 89,000 and some change. Michigan, 92,000. Mississippi is one of the lower ones, 66,000. I'm sorry, that's Minnesota. Mississippi's 85,000. We've got Montana at 94,000. Georgia at 82,000. Kansas at 85,000. So you've got some low ones there.
Where's New York? I know New
New
York high.
102,000.
Yeah, buddy.
So we've got some low ones, but unless that one person is making about 75, $80,000 for most states, I say about 75, $80,000. And that probably need to look. They didn't say if this was before or after taxes because
Right.
taxes gonna take out a whole nother chunk.
Yeah.
It can't be done on one paycheck. And this is just the basics. We're not even talking about vacations and extracurriculars, private school, private level. We didn't even get into all of that. This is just to put the bread on the table.
Right.
So if that one person is not making $85,000, it takes two people.
Yeah.
Even if they're making that, that's the bare minimum. It's still going to take two people to have some extras and
Yeah.
some luxuries in there.
Yeah.
That's the reality of it. So we're in this place where we're like, well, who should pay what? Should they split half the bill? If that one person is not making $85,000, it's gonna take two people. If that one person is making that, but you want some extras and some luxuries, you want to be able to go to Starbucks every day. Don't need to, but if you want to be able to go to Starbucks every day, you want to be able to order pizza every Friday, you want to do Chinese or whatever it is that you like to eat, it's going to take some extra.
Mm-hmm.
That's just the way the numbers are. Well, we talked last episode a little bit about inflation. Listen, 17, 18, $19 an hour today is still less than what 5.50 an hour was back in the late 70s, 1970s, 1980s. All right. We've got more money, but more expenses. And you know what I was thinking about too? The internet. Like today, internet is considered a utility now. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Internet is considered a utility. Having a cell phone is on its way to be considered a utility because, I mean, on public assistance, they're giving people smartphones. You can't even walk into McDonald's no more and really fill out an application in most places. They expect you to have a phone or computer to be able to go on the internet and fill out an application.
Right.
So on top of inflation, we have a whole extra utility today that was not a utility in 1980s. This wasn't even a bill. The internet was not considered a substantial important part of life back then. 1970, 1980, y'all. So we got a whole extra bill that didn't exist back then when people was doing it on one income.
Because some people's jobs have emails.
Almost everybody's job got emails now.
Yeah. And for a lot of people's jobs, reading their email is a requirement.
Mm-hmm.
And the phone is good, but who wants to read email from their phone all the time? You can sit in front of a computer and do it.
Internet.
It's more convenient. Internet.
All these work from home jobs, remote jobs. It's understood that people have the internet. It's understood that people have a computer, a mobile device. So we got a whole extra bill. People didn't even have, cell phones was coming along, but it won't like that. So we got 2 extra bills, technically. Mm-hmm. 2 extra bills today that granddaddy won't expect it to pay because they didn't exist.
Right.
On top of inflation, on top of our money going not as far as it used to. So it's going to take 2 people. If you want to live a lavish life, if you want to be able to take vacations and do all this stuff and have disposable income, it's going to take 2 people. And it still may take 2 people and a side hustle, just depending upon where you are. So who should be paying what? Again, do whatever works best for your household. But it makes sense. If it's baggable, go bag it. Mm-hmm. It makes sense to have as many streams or bags as possible in order to get things done. But I want to go back to this household piece because I've seen this argument on TikTok. These men cussing, making videos. Why does it anger these men to be able to sweep the floor in a house they live in? I don't get it. Well, I'm going to work. And you had one lady, she was like, okay, so if you feel that you deserve a break for every dollar that you make, what about your wife that's working? Does she get a break for every dollar that she makes?
Right.
And I love I wish I could remember her name, but I love the way she said it. She said, if your stay-at-home wife is doing nothing all day, what's wrong with putting half of nothing on your plate? Woo! It really, really makes you think.
Come on.
Why are we so upset about having to contribute at home? So going back to this whole bag situation, everybody needs to contribute regardless, but especially if you've got a wife that's working. Well, again, we're not talking about dollar amount. If she's working, working at all, she's still doing 2 jobs because there's kids involved and then there's a job involved.
Yeah.
And then you a whole job by yourself.
And you got to realize too, like a mother is going to have a certain kind of care that a father is not.
Exactly.
Because it's just in the nature of a mother, in the nature of a woman, period. But especially if she's a mother, in the nature of a mother, to do the extra things that's actually needed.
Exactly.
If one of the children cry, the daddy gonna be like, "Hey, you all right?" But the mother gonna be like, "No." You see, the mother gonna actually look and see if there's any injuries, and see the daddy get up if it's a certain kind of cry. Mm-hmm. But if it's just like a regular cry, but the mother's gonna inspect. The mother has a different kind of heart, that a father don't have, and is needed.
Yeah,
because
that's the way God designed
there's an attention to details that us men probably don't have sometimes. So
that's true.
Yeah.
I've never had a phenomenal male server at a restaurant. Oh yeah, I forgot. Oh yeah, I forgot. So
Yeah.
yeah, women have a different attention to detail.
Yeah. You know, if a man is a pay attention to detail, this is about other stuff, but not serving.
Hmm.
But you know, uh, um, uh, um, a mother. See, there's a reason why the wife is called the help meet,
Hmm.
because she help meets the need. You understand? Help meet don't mean
Do it all.
subservient, do it all, domineering, under the feet kind of thing. That ain't help meet.
I told you, you listen to some of these men describe their ideal wife as the making of a slave.
Yeah, yeah. It's the wife is a help meet. So she takes, first of all, men, you got to have a vision. Okay, and I don't know how many times I explain this, but y'all be marrying these men who don't be knowing themselves, let alone knowing the Lord and knowing what direction that they're going. They don't got no ministry, no business, no idea for the future, no vision for the future, nothing. What they gonna lead you into? They only got a relationship with God. What they gonna lead you into?
Mm.
How? How, Sway? How? So so what you get married for? You're helping to meet nothing. But if you are helping meet and you're performing the duties thereof, okay, your job is to help meet the need.
I can't help you do something you're not doing in the first place.
Right. So so if you're helping to meet the need, that means that you're going to see details about the vision, about the home, or about whatever that the man ain't going to see. But that don't mean the woman's supposed to take it all on herself.
Right.
She's supposed to help me. So this is your marriage is a partnership.
Hmm.
And I ain't talking about 50-50 either. Let's stop that. Let's stop that. Well, it's supposed to be 50-50.
No, it's supposed to be 100.
Yeah, because see,
You're not gonna halfway do nothing for me.
right. You understand? So we got to stop this 50-50. I'm only going to put up half and you going to put up half or whatever it is, you know, and all of that stuff. See, that's
It's
that
this
measuring of how much you do.
discretionary effort, and then we wonder why people end up getting divorced.
Yeah.
Well, I did my part. I did. That's your problem. You kept doing your part, and you never had enough love and compassion to go beyond your part.
Yeah. Like I do my part and that's it.
Somebody's not feeling well. When do you just do your part, or do you actually step up and take the initiative? See, here's the thing that's interesting. When you love somebody unconditionally, you don't even really just think, well, I did my part. I did this. I did this. You don't even think, oh,
No, you
part
don't.
what? You just do it.
I remember, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Because when you're loving somebody unconditionally, you're not focused. You're not sitting there, oh, I did that.
Right.
Well, I'm not doing nothing else today. I done my part for the day. I'll do some more tomorrow.
Right.
When you are loving them unconditionally and you're taking care of their needs and they're taking care of your needs, and you are an initiator with making sure things are done in the home, and they're initiated with making sure things are done, everything's just done.
Right.
You know, side on I nobody. I did my part. How come you didn't do your part? If you were focused on actually doing your part, you wouldn't even notice they didn't do their part. And then you would, hey, are you feeling okay? Is everything all right with you? Instead of feeling slighted, did it ever occur to you that something might be going on with them? See, doing your part, we've looked at this contractually and not
Yeah.
a love thing.
Right.
That's why we are. Well, I'm gonna do half. You gonna do half because it's two of us.
I remember when you was pregnant.
Which time?
Well, I mean both times.
Okay.
I remember when you was pregnant, right? And of course, when you're pregnant, I mean you could still get around and do stuff, but you especially as you got more pregnant, you know,
Further along in the pregnancy.
further along in the pregnancy. I didn't want to say bigger because that just sounds.
It's okay. I got it. You don't want to have to dig a hole and get out of it.
Yeah.
So let's say in the latter part of the second trimester into the third trimester.
Yeah. That part.
Yeah, I did get bigger, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
You not trying to get in trouble.
Yeah, yeah. So, but I remember when you was when you was further along,
Mm-hmm.
there were certain things you had a harder time doing.
Yeah, I couldn't breathe. Like the baby sitting like here, and I'm like, whoo, trying to function.
So that's not the time for me to say, well, you still didn't do your other 50.
No.
Because there's days she could only do 10%, 20%, or whatever. I said, sit
There was
down, I
days it
got
was
it.
0%.
Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? So what if a person can't do it all that day?
Mm-hmm.
Or what if a person forgets and falls short? Are there room for mistakes?
Are they now disqualified? I mean, have they failed you as a spouse because they was tired?
You understand? And people get tired, man.
Why did you? Well, I was tired. Are they now disqualified?
Or people forget. I forget all the time. I forget all the time. For real. I've always been very forgetful. I'm working on it, but I've always been forgetful. All right, I forget stuff all the time. But I mean, and see, that's where the love comes in, the mercy, the understanding. And sometimes it annoys my wife to have to remind me. But I'm getting better.
Progress.
Progress. That's
But
right.
see, what amazes me are these men that think that their wives are not supposed to forget. They're not supposed to be tired.
Right.
There's an unjust pressure and unrealistic standard that these men place on their wives when they don't want to contribute to these things.
Let me say this. For all you raggedy husbands out there. Your wife ain't your servant. Let me say this.
Come on.
Let me say it one more time for the Holy Ghost. Your wife is not your servant.
If you're gonna lead like Jesus, that means you're supposed to be the most crucified person in the house. We're not talking about praying in tongues and all that, because that's needed. But no, that means that Jesus was a servant leader. He washed his disciples' feet.
Yeah. Yeah.
So are you setting the example? Are you serving? Are you setting the example? Are you serving in your home? In your home, not just your paycheck. We talking about in your home.
Your wife is not your servant. The Bible says your helpmeet. She's your co-heir of the gift of life.
Mm-hmm.
The Bible says. All right. She's she rules alongside you.
Mm-hmm.
She is not some subservient second class citizen. Yeah. See, people don't realize when Jesus came, he bust all that up.
Mm-hmm.
He bust all that up. It just became progressive throughout the first century church and church history. Until Constantine came along and they tried to put the women back in silence again. And then that's when he went into the desert and set up monasteries and started discipling people. All right. But listen, when Jesus came on the scene, he paid extra attention to women. Matter of fact, women funded his ministry. Okay. Remember when he was casting the devils out the women, Mary Magdalene included, and Susanna and all them? Yeah. So women are not that subservient person that just answers all of your commands and do all your little do all the stuff you don't want to do. Okay. Because in the old covenant we see that women under the Old Testament was almost like property.
Mm-hmm.
Was almost like property. Now you didn't see Abraham treat Sarah like that.
Right.
But more so after the law of Moses and stuff like that. But then when Jesus came on the scene, you notice if you really study it, he started liberating women. And I want to tell y'all women this. Don't let no man take scripture to try to put you in a situation in bondage. Because see, we love to say, and see, we still got some of that. Oh, why I'm supposed to submit. But that don't mean be subservient too.
First of all, those kind of men can't even describe what the Bible tells them to do. So, do you know anything else about your role, about your biblical resume, about your biblical responsibilities? Or if that's all you know, you don't know a lot else. And that's the issue, is the church reinforces this stupidity. I remember watching this video by a popular woman preacher, and I won't say her name here. And she was talking about all this stuff that, these women needed to do. And, you need to do this, do that. You need to cook dinner, and you need to have washing powder, and you need to do this, and this. And I'm just like, okay, you need to make his plate, and you need to, and again, I'm not against doing some of these things, but I'm watching, I'm just like, okay, every man don't want all this stuff done. Every man don't want his bath water ran. I don't know too many grown men that take baths like
I
that.
take a shower. Okay.
So I said this because you got men that's what she said. Okay, if that's what you want, there's a conversation there. But the thing is, what she said ain't law. It's not biblical standard for every wife in every household. And see, I'm irritated by these men that point to stuff like that to try to shame their wife. See, you should be doing this. Are you willing to commit to the level of what you're expecting? That's the first thing.
Mm-hmm.
You expect dinner okay, so on your day off when you're home, do you plan on having dinner on the table at 5:00 too? Do you plan on getting up with the kids and cooking breakfast? Do you plan on washing the laundry and doing this and doing that and running these errands? Most men expect things that they are not willing to do themselves.
Baby, I can wash my own laundry. I can cook my own food. I was doing all that before I got married. See, a lot of stuff these men want their wives to do is stuff that they already should have been doing before they got married.
A lot of them just went from home to marriage, and they never had any time as an adult male to be on their own and master these skills.
And listen, I believe in submitting to your husband and all that. But see, I'm looking at what that man does with his leadership.
That part.
How do you lead your home exactly?
Mm-hmm.
What do you do with your leadership exactly? Because I hear some people, I heard some husbands say, yeah, my wife, she's submitted, like she's a real wife, and she even asked me permission before she buy stuff like that. See, somebody like me, that would annoy me. Honey, can I go to the store?
No.
Can you go to the sea? Questions like that would annoy me.
Now, obviously, with wisdom, purchases over a certain amount,
a
large amount, there needs to be a conversation somewhere. It's like, okay, I'm about to drop a couple bands. You probably want to have a conversation about that.
Yeah, of course.
But I mean, if you just going to get basic household needs, I mean,
I knew one. I knew one lady. We knew one lady, like she needed permission to get hygiene products.
Mm-mm.
How?
No, I'm not asking to go get pads.
How?
I'm not asking to go get deodorant, lotion, or body wash. I'm not asking to go buy panties. I'm just going to go buy these things.
Yeah.
We're not doing that.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, a lot of this stuff, and then we want to address certain scriptures which were addressed to a certain group of people addressing a certain problem
in a certain period in time frame in culture.
You see what I'm saying?
18 years ago.
The Bible gives an overall standard. Okay, for a specific things. And let me help you out with y'all.
They didn't even have a store to go buy stuff from. Like, I mean, they had markets, but we live in a whole different time. But go ahead.
The Bible has specific standards overall, and I teach this a lot, from the Old Testament to the New. If it's a standard from the Old Testament, from the Old Covenant to the New Covenant, then that's something you should be doing. But pay attention to how it is addressed in the New Covenant too. It gives you revelation as to how it's supposed to be applied in our day and time. Paul addressed a lot of issues in the church, and he gave specific commands for specific people. Okay, we don't have to do everything Paul said today. If we did, then that mean all y'all who got braids in your hair going to hell. Huh? All y'all that got braids in your hair going to hell. I'm just saying. So certain unless Paul said do this in all the churches, Like when he was talking about the prophetic, in order of prophecy, let two or three prophesy and let the other ones judge. Yeah. Unless he said do this in all the churches, then he was addressing. He was giving individual commands and specific commandments and canons for that particular church because of the issues that they had. So it's the same thing even with marriage.
Right.
There's certain things that he told the church of Corinth. There's certain things that he told church at Timothy at Ephesus.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? Because there was specific issue. Everybody didn't have the same problem.
Right.
Everybody didn't have the same problem. Now again, submission to your husband is a common theme throughout Scripture. But how you submit,
that looks different.
It looks different. How you submit, because see, let's take us for an example. I'm an apostle, you're an apostle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm the chief apostle, but you're still an apostle in your own authority, in your
Mm-hmm.
own right. So there's certain things that you have the authority to do within your apostolic measure.
Mm-hmm.
And certain things that when you're functioning in that, I don't touch.
Oh, you just cussed right there.
I don't touch. I can oversee without touching.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So we like when I talk like that. Huh?
No, I'm listening. I was on the oversee without touching part. Go ahead.
Yeah. So
as you touch my leg.
Oh yeah. I love these thighs, baby. They both shot.
You just said oversee without touching now. Put your hand back.
Yeah, but I can touch you. I'm talking about the work. But I need y'all to understand this,
Mm-hmm.
because I used to catch a lot of flack from people because of the honor that I put on my wife, right? Oh, you let her talk too much and blah 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 blah, because people would try to get at her and she'll straighten her out. She'll straighten them out and be like, "Oh, you need to tame your wife." Excuse me. I've had women.
Mm-hmm.
I've had women come to me and be like, "You need to tame your wife." And you need to. I said, "Well, don't."
Tame. That's cute.
Yeah, I'm like, well, don't get mad at me because she put you in your place after you came at her all sideways like that.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was funny. You see what I'm saying? Now, if she was to say or do something that was just completely out of order, I'll tell her in private. In private. You'll never know that I corrected my wife. You understand what I'm saying? So as a husband, I use my God-given authority and influence to empower my wife and confer authority on her life. And guess what? She can flow. She can do whatever it is that God is telling her to do. And because, there's accountability here, you see what I'm saying? She lets me know, hey, the Lord told me this. I say, go for it. Go for it. She and as her own apostle, certain things she don't need necessarily my permission for. Okay, I know y'all don't like that. Because see, y'all want your wife to run everything by you. And depending on what it is, I'll say just you don't need my permission, go for it. But see, y'all view y'all wives as servants, not as co-heirs. Now, yes, your wife can serve you in humility, okay? Because as Sarah did call Abraham Lord, but just like he was the father of many nations, she was the mother of many nations.
At that part.
They both had the same covenant. She inherited the same covenant as her husband.
Woo!
She inherited the same covenant as her husband. You understand? I'm not going to chase that rabbit. But
can't demand that kind of service.
No. You understand what I'm saying? There's days she's just as busy as I am. I'm going to say, hey, go cook me some lunch, woman. No, I can go right up the street to the store, get me a steak and cook it on the darn grill if I want it. Okay? She cooks for me. She does. But there's times where she's busy in her own measure and assignment, and I'm not going to have her to cut that off and say, hey, woman.
But sometimes you just want to eat something different. And
that's sometimes I want to eat something different. You know, sometimes she cooks something. I'm like, I don't want that. I go cook something else.
Yeah, because you're not really gonna get no cooked meat from me.
Yeah, I'm a carnivore.
I
Bless the
can't do
Lord.
all that.
So,
But go ahead, go ahead.
so I mean, this is what I'm saying. Like this old school model, and I'm noticing God is hitting a lot of that stuff up from
Yes,
how we
he is.
do ministry,
Yes.
from how we do ministry, because that's a whole nother topic too. We got to talk
Mm-hmm.
about how they did ministry in the old school,
Oh yeah.
because a lot of that was oppressive and abusive. Okay, and especially them old holiness movements, you know, and them old Pentecostal holiness, so-called apostolic with no apostles movement. All right, um, you know, and even how we do marriage and gender roles
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that. Okay, we need to redefine all of that. And yes, I'm not against. Yes, I am against women who act like men, but I'm against men who act like women.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? But see, now we need in a healthy way to redefine in a biblical sense from the eyes of God, the role of a man and a woman. What a
Because the
man is, what
Bible
a
don't
woman is.
say who's supposed to push a vacuum.
Thank
The
you.
Bible don't say who's supposed to wash the dishes.
Or change a diaper.
The Bible does not say any of that stuff.
I've met men can't even change a diaper. Okay. Well,
Mm.
this stuff is for the mom to do. It's for the mom, especially the first 3 years. What the hell is wrong with you? You can't even change your child's diaper, and that woman tired. You can't even hold your child. You don't want your child to bond with you. I just used to hold my children, just look at them, and just you know, just play with them and just look at them like I was such a proud father.
Yeah, best science project ever.
You understand
A
what I'm
whole
saying?
being.
I mean, I cried when my daughter was born. I won't cry now. I cried when my daughter was
Yeah,
born.
and she was sitting there looking at you like that.
I boo-hooed like a baby when she was born. Whew, it's just coming on me now. But you understand? I just don't understand y'all. I just don't understand y'all. Men, and see, it has to start with the men. And see, we don't have enough. We don't have enough men getting on men about this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Leadership and headship is when you take responsibility for the condition of your family.
Yes.
That's leadership. It ain't dictating, telling everybody what to do and all that.
No.
Is being an example of stability, being an example of love,
Mm-hmm.
being an example of structure, even correction, but patience and mercy, being a standard in all of that. Okay? My son tell me every other day I'm the best dad in the world. The best dad ever. Man, listen, that's all I need to hear to make my day. Huh? That's all I need to hear to make my day. You understand? Do your family approve of you?
Mm.
Okay.
See, that's a good one because see, some men think that they're doing a certain thing. It's not that you're doing bad, but you think you have a level of approval that you don't.
Yeah. Yeah.
You think you the greatest thing since sliced bread, and your family just sick of you.
Yeah.
Sick of you.
Yeah. Do your family approve of you? And a lot of y'all men, your family don't approve of you.
Mm-mm.
Your underage children, I ain't talking about them grown ones. Your underage children don't approve of you.
And you
your
in the
wife,
pulpit, loving it, loving all the attention.
yeah. And home is hell. You got hell at home, but you preaching heaven in the pulpit.
Mm-mm.
Stop all that foolishness. So again, I think with gender standards in today's society, we need to, and we've only scratched really the surface of this, but we're just having a conversation.
Yeah.
We're just having the necessary conversation, okay, to get your thinking faculties going, because nowadays it's a sin in the church to think.
Oh yeah.
In society, period, we just a bunch of sheep out here. Okay.
Another platform.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think that this subject has to be talked about, and we
Yeah.
need to put our thinking caps on, like they used to say in school. Put our thinking caps on.
Let's put your thinking cap
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, we need to put our thinking cap on and really revisit this subject again in society. And I think that a lot of marriages are failing too because we're putting these old school, outdated expectations on individuals, and it's just not feasible for where you are. Period. Period.
Period.
You know. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Let me get $1 billion coming in. You ain't gonna do nothing.
But I'm
But
gonna want to do something.
you ain't gonna have to do nothing. But you can want to do so. You can do whatever you want. But you ain't gonna have to.
Long as I still have the option.
Yeah, you can put your money up and spend mines.
Woo! All right now.
Put your money up and spend mine.
All right now.
Save your money for whatever you want to do. you know, if you really want to get me something, you can buy me a gift. You know, I like Burberry.
All right, deal.
Amen. You could buy me the shoes. You could buy me whatever. You could buy me the scarf. Oh.
All right, we got to cut this camera off now.
Oh,
Any closing remarks on this episode?
Don't let the outside world define what's best for your marriage.
That's good.
Just don't.
And don't let the misappropriation of scripture make you think you don't need to pick up a vacuum every now and then, or that your role is more than taking out the trash.
Yeah,
you can do more than that. Maybe if it's nothing, then take off a load. Go. You live there too.
Yeah.
Contribute. It should be a partnership. Y'all are working together as co-heirs. Co-heirs.
Yeah. Have the necessary conversation. Conversation and understanding can save a marriage.
Absolutely. So listen, thank you for joining us on this episode of the F3 podcast. Click that link to find out how you can become an avid supporter of the F3 podcast, and send us a voicemail and tell us your topics or your questions that you want answered here on air. Until next time on the F3 podcast. Goodbye.